Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grin and Guardian Show. Sportcat here. I am your host. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. We have an author who's written a book about when children should call 911 called Lester the Lion, and she's going to come out and tell us all about it. But first, let me get my co-hosts out here real quick, Miss Cheyenne and Miss Dina. Dina is filling in. We have a surprise announcement here. Let me bring this up on screen, and Cheyenne can tell us all about it. Matt is not with us tonight because, well, he's been a little bit busy doing something that he should be doing, taking care of the baby. I gotta find where I put the picture. I had it up. There we go. And there. Maybe share. Yes. There's Matt and the brand new baby boy.
Little baby con with Donna M popped out at 319 today. A whole 7 pounds and 11 ounces and a solid 20 inches long.
Oh,
wow.
He's adorable.
He really Congratulations to both parents. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the Grin and Guardian gang. We need to get him his own little coin.
Yeah.
So Matt's got some things to take care of, and we'll let him go take care of it. Chuck and Corey are also doing family things, so they've been a little preoccupied. So we haven't had them around. Let me make a few announcements real quick. The Parapost Network, we are a member of the Parapost Network on Facebook. Please go to their page, like, share, follow, subscribe. And let's see. Also, the phone lines are open, and that is compliments of the Thin Line. No, not the Thin Line Rock Station.
Yergs.
Yeah, Yergs. I got it up here somewhere. The phone number is 1-888-88-YERGZ, 1-888-88-YERGZ. Compliments of YergsRadio.com. And of course, I want to thank the sponsor of the show, kind of a pseudo sponsor, the Thin Line Rock Station, obviously. They support us in all things, and they allow me to go on their air and talk 3 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 1400, and from
solid jams
1800 to 2200 on Fridays with Flashback Friday. So tune in next Friday night to that station. You may hear a surprise. All right. Well, Donna's backstage, and I've talked enough, so I think I've got all my announcements out of the way. So let's see. Let's bring Donna out. Hello, Donna. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Hi, Donna.
Doing well. Welcome to the show. We are glad you're here. You are the first author we've had that has written a book for children, which I think is great. We were talking backstage. You were talking about the firefighters coming to the school. Well, I was one of those guys, and I think it's one of the greatest things we can do is go around. We used to crawl through the classrooms and our stuff, breathing sound like Darth Vader, and so I think it's one of the greatest things we can do. But you were correct that not enough people go around talking about 911 and when and how to use it.
That just baffles me.
That's true.
Well, and the thing is, it's abused because they don't know when to call. They'll call for, my toe hurts. And I remember when I worked with Dina, actually, in Knoxville, we get a call from some kids that grandma's had a heart attack. She's dead. And so, being the rescuer that we are, I tell them to jerk grandma down on the floor, and we're going to jump on her chest and start doing CPR, and which is what we did. We told them that. And the first thing I heard was grandma yelling, "Get off of me."
Yeah. I had one trying to.
Grandma was still alive.
Yeah.
Thank God for that, at least.
Yeah. It made for a hilarious call, but because I didn't stop it, I kept all the police and firemen and paramedics going because we didn't know maybe grandma had sipped the sauce or something, but turned out she was just asleep, and they dove on top of her chest and they were about to do CPR. So it is an important lesson that they need to be taught, and I wish there was more ways of getting it out there to them, honestly. But that's one of the, speaking from the other side of the coin, that's one of the, from administrators' point of view in EMS, emergency medical services, we don't really want to go around telling people not to call 911 because then you're liable for something else.
Yeah.
So it's like a double-edged sword. So
Hopefully, a lot more of those children's shows will start putting out more too. So Bluey is a big thing right now, and that kind of seems like something that they would handle.
Yeah, I worked with really young children, like preschool through first grade. So sometimes them seeing the firefighters was like the first time that they'd really had contact with, like, emergency providers. And the parents, after you told the children about 911, then a lot of times the parents would come back the next morning and say, I am so embarrassed. They practiced it last night. And
Oh, yeah.
then
That's what they were doing. They were practicing again.
Exactly. Well, kids play. They learn through play.
Right.
Of course, they don't really understand the difference between play and pretend and reality all of the time. So I had several parents come to me and like, oh, I wish there was a book about this. I wish someone had written a book about when to call 911. So that was really like my motivation to do it, and I understood after working with that age group for over 20 years, I feel like I understand that age group really well. So the words come fairly quickly to me because I kind of know what will, engage younger children. So.
Right.
You said you were a teacher, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So 20 years.
Special needs.
Ooh, thank you. That's a hard job.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I really loved it. It's very, very rewarding. It's difficult, but it's really rewarding because the last year, that's actually how I got hurt and couldn't work anymore. The last couple of years, I worked with really tough children, nonverbal, needed help learning how to eat. And a lot of the times those children can be very violent because they can't communicate. So it's really rewarding too when you can get them to, to do things and be able to participate in society because they and their parents just need a lot of help. So
I very much admire you for being able to do that for that long.
Oh, thank you. I loved it. I really did love my job.
Yeah.
Well, they say if you love your job, you never worked a day in your life. So
that's true.
That's true.
What part of the country are you in?
The East Coast. I taught in Rhode Island. That's where I taught all the time in Rhode Island. But I currently live on the Cape, on Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, your winters are wonderful. I got to
Yeah.
My son moved to Vermont. I got to experience one last year. Well, so do you remember any one particular, I'll call it a case for lack of better words as a paramedic, but incident or anything that really prompted you aside from this? Had you had any kids that didn't call 911 or should have called 911, or was it merely just the firemen coming in and the interaction you got with the families?
It was actually mostly the reaction with the families. I can't recall an incident where a child really had to call 911 that I know of, other than when they did it inappropriately. But yeah, it was mostly the interaction with the firefighters. My children were so young, some of them were very, very scared of the firefighters. So that was like a big thing. I ended up having, we did the big assembly where all the children in the school come, and some of my kids couldn't even handle that. It was too much for them. So I asked the firefighters to come and do like an individual presentation in my classroom. And it really, really worked because I felt there were some kids that were just missing out because they were just afraid of the large group. So.
Yeah. Well, and it also, once we put on our boots and our jacket and stuff like that, we're scary. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you've ever been told, but statistically in fires, children, especially, I don't know where Cheyenne just went, especially special needs children, they will hide during a fire.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And they hide from us even. So that's why that was when I was in Tennessee, that was one of the programs I set up in a small county. Was every October we went out to the school. We crawled through every classroom in that on our hands and knees, showing them exactly what we do. You know, and it's great, you know, just to try and get the, and if you do have one person that you come back and hear a positive story from does make you feel so much better.
Yeah.
No. And don't worry about the abuse of 911. When I worked at 911, my daughter actually called 911 wanting to speak to me. So
Oh yeah. My family would do that too. It's creepy. I don't know why, but some of them would. Well, I didn't know your number. Okay.
my daughter blamed it on Tennessee. There's a 922 is the first three digits, and she was like, "Oh, I meant to dial 922." Yeah, I know better. So you had already written the Lester the Lion book prior to this?
I had, yeah. Lester Lion Calls 911 is my second Lester book. The first one is, you can see it,
Yeah.
Lester Lion Wants to Roar.
Oh,
And that was
cute.
basically the story of my recovery from my brain injury, told as
Oh,
a children's book, obviously.
very nice.
Because it takes a long, long time to recover. If you ever, you don't really recover. It's like a new normal.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to like illustrate like that took a long, long time to recover from like a brain injury. So
That's really good. I like that.
the theme is really hope. So you can also deal with. I've had people who bought the book tell me that it works with other chronic illnesses that children
Yeah.
have. You know, it doesn't have to be just like a brain injury. And
Right.
any chronic illness, or even if the child has cancer or something, because it's hopeful. Because Lester can't roar at the beginning of the book, and he keeps trying and trying. And then in the end, Lester stands up tall, and Lester Lion roared. So
Yeah.
it's hopeful. So
Yeah. I could see that where that would work. That would be great. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So once you started the idea, how long did it take from the idea that you're going to do this? Obviously, writing a book's a challenge, but putting it in those terms is even more of a challenge to get it to publication. How long, what period of time did that take?
Years. Oh my goodness. I started Lester Lion Wants to Roar. Actually, it was really early in my recovery. It was 2016. I was injured in 2015. The words came to me fairly quickly. So I just kind of wrote it all down. And then after that, it was like quite the journey. I had trouble getting like an illustrator after I had the words. And I can't draw to save my life. So I definitely needed an illustrator. That took years. First, I had a friend that wanted to illustrate, and then that never came together. And then I had other people that would kind of start. Some people wanted a lot of money, and it just really didn't come together. And then eventually, last year, so I started the story in 2015, and Lester Lion was published June 2023. So I started talking to Kirkhouse, my publisher, in 2022, I guess. And then it really started to come together once I got connected with my publisher. And my publisher also did my illustrations. So that's how we moved along with the illustrations. I never was able to find an independent illustrator that didn't want an arm and a leg to do the illustrations or was capable. Because I guess apparently, like, I can't draw and I know it. Apparently, some people think they can draw and they really can't. So.
Yeah.
That's also part of it is your vision of what Lester looks like. They've got to tailor it to you, and they may be wanting to make him look like a robot or something, and so you had to go back and forth, and that could sometimes, I'm sure, be a challenge.
Definitely, because he needed to look. He's a lion, but he needs to look like non-threatening, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a fierce lion. So.
Right.
So how does Lester learn to dial 911 in the book?
He the firefighters, it's fire prevention month in October, and the firefighters have come to his school, and he really loves firefighters. He's really interested. He has a poster of a firefighter on his wall in his room.
Okay.
He loves firefighters. So the firefighters came, they did the basic school presentation, like the putting on the gear, the oxygen mask, all of that, the stop, drop, and roll, which is in the book. And then they also taught the lions or the children how to call 911. Lester was very excited when he got home, and he told his mother all about what he had learned. Then his mother went to make dinner, and Lester was playing with his action figures, and he decided to, play firefighter. First, he was the firefighter, and then he put the action figures in the little dollhouse, and then he decided to call 911. However, he decided to use his mother's real cell phone to call 911.
Okay.
So he did that, and then he hung up right away because he sort of knew it was a mistake. So he hung up, and he's like, okay, it'll be okay. No one will know. But then, of course, the next thing is he heard the siren coming down the street.
Oh, wow.
But in the end, then the firefighter comes in the house, comes into Lester's room because he's hiding under the bed at that point. And the firefighter comes and tells him, oh, you only call 911 in a real emergency. We're too busy to come to pretend emergencies. We only need to come to real emergencies. And then the book ends, he's talking to his dad, and he feels bad that he made a mistake. And his dad says, as long as you learn from your mistakes, then it's all okay. So
yeah. Did you do any research at all with the 911 centers or with your local 911 to see anything about how the 911 system works, or did you just go off of what you knew?
I just kind of went off what I knew. I do have a friend that works as a dispatcher for 911, and I did talk to her. So
that's good.
Briefly,
okay.
So
cool. Okay.
People don't realize how technical it is.
Yeah.
Now, literally, with I don't know, Google or Apple or whatever, they can ping you almost from within 10 feet of where you actually are calling. And even since I started doing it, technology has changed so much. It's and when you do hang up on 911, that somebody will usually call you right back. So, and a lot of people don't realize you can have a just a regular old dead cell phone, and it will still call 911. Every phone by federal law has to be able to call 911. So a lot of people don't realize that. And it's for a reason. So on my other show, I just did a story, and I'm going to have a cramp here. It was a murder in New York City, and over 50 people heard the lady screaming outside of her apartment building. She was trying to get in. And it's actually now they've studied it. It's a psychological thing. Everybody thinks somebody else called.
Yeah.
And so they don't call. And only one person called the police to come to her assistance. She ended up dying outside of her apartment. And the police never showed up.
Oh, wow.
And so that brought together the local community, and it got all the way up to President Johnson at the time. And he said, well, something has to be done with this. And I think it was 1963. And by 1968, the very first 911 phone call was made in Alabama. So it still, even then, took time. But today, even 911 is not 100% across the country yet. It's almost, but there's still some very rural areas that don't have 911. And then the other complications with cell phone, like for instance, in East Tennessee, where Dina is and where I was, if you're at a high elevation, you may get a North Carolina 911 center just because you're in the mountain,
right?
And then you have to transfer it. So yeah, there's a lot of technology and a lot of moving parts that people don't know about, and getting the kids on board. I think if we could start educating them at an early age, because like I told you earlier, I don't ever want to tell someone not to call 911.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to educate the public because there's only so many ambulances, fire trucks, police cars out there, and being on the other side of that, I mean, Dina's been on the call taker side during a storm or something. You see the phone lines just light up. You know what's coming. You usually know when there's a bad wreck or something. The phone lines light up or storm coming in. Being on the trucks, when you start hearing Dina telling people where to go, you know it's about to get busy. And I may be on the north side of town, got to respond over the south side. And so absolutely, we want to get to everybody when they need us, but it's not always the case, so, and I'm happy to educate anyone on that because I feel that strong about it. Yeah.
And it's perfectly fine. I mean, 911 operators don't mind if, like, the parents allow their children to call in and they can verify their address or whatever, because all the addresses, well, they used to, I'm not sure what they do now, but go through the telephone companies or the cell phone companies, and to verify the address. Now, some of the, like if you're in a building, it's called a truncated system. Like if you work for, like in a, what am I trying to say, Glenn? You know, like if
Factory,
you work,
maybe, where there's
yeah,
multiple stores?
factory or multiple buildings, it could, okay, so the place that I worked once that had multiple locations, it would show, wherever you called, it would show the main office building on in a one location, like across town. It wouldn't show where at a different campus you might be calling from. It would show the main campus. So that's kind of difficult to deal with. So you have to, even if you're calling, even if it's supposed to show the correct address that you're calling from, as a 911 operator, we still had to verify the address, and people knew that it would show your address, but sometimes it wasn't always correct because of the different types of phone systems. So it was just,
Oh, yeah, when we would respond to like Amazon, and 911 called Amazon, well, there's 3 Amazon plants, or
yeah.
plants, but warehouses in our fire department's area,
Mhm.
and they were not in the same place. So it's like, okay, first off, which one?
Yeah.
And now that we know which one, where, because there are so many entrances in
Right.
some of these buildings. And that's the hard part as a responder on the truck, is
Mhm.
I'm going back to them going, okay, which one am I going to? A, B, or C? All right.
Yeah.
Now what side of the building? So observational awareness. A lot of people are aware. You would be surprised how many people tell us, and I know Dina's been yelled at before, why are you asking so many questions? Just send an ambulance or a
Yeah.
fire truck
Just
or
get
whatever.
here. Get here. It's like people just like, and I understand it because at that moment people think children are the best. They are really much more calm than
And
adults
honest.
are, and honest. Yeah, they do so well. But yeah, people, they don't understand why you're asking them so many questions, and they just want something. If they're in a panic, they don't realize, why you're asking them so many questions. They don't want somebody there now, which I can understand. You don't realize why you're being asked so many
And in
questions
my
that
shop,
seem
they're like, why'd
stupid.
you send a fire truck? That's what
Yeah,
we do. That's what
yeah,
we do. We come as a team.
yeah,
So yeah. And educating the public is so important.
it is.
And I know through the National Fire, was it NFPA, National Fire Prevention Association? Is that right? NFPA? Yeah.
Yeah.
They have so many programs, stop, drop, and roll, like you're talking about.
Mhm.
EDIS is one we used to talk about, exit drills in the home. That one's a great one to teach kids.
Yeah.
Always have a meeting point outside the house.
Mhm.
So so the kids know where, and so you can tell us when we get there, okay, Susie's
Yeah.
not here. Where
Yeah.
would Susie be in there? It's important to us,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, these are such important things, and you've hit on it at a great time too, because with the popular TV shows, I would think that's been a help to you, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we get to meet
Yeah.
some of those famous people on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I was watching the one that's, I don't know if it's Texas or LA or one of the big cities wherever the 911 show is at. And I mean, it is Hollywood, a lot of it.
Mhm.
But the technology is pretty impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible how I mean, if you think about it, you call a random 3-digit number and a bunch of people show up from the other side of town that don't know you. That's hard enough to do. But when you got to coordinate, like Dina said, through either a building or a neighborhood or something, it's like magic sometimes just to get us, you know. Yeah, I hope maybe this is an idea for future. You get Lester to ride on a fire truck or an ambulance.
Yeah.
Or both.
That would be very cool. Actually, there is a scene in the book where they go out and they get to sit in the fire truck. So there's an illustration in the book, and Lester is sitting in the fire truck.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Oh, here he is. Get it up there so you can see it. There's.
Oh yeah.
Move it over.
That's neat. You could Thorn.
I love it.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, would it be neat if you could like send him on a ride along with somebody?
I have some other ideas for Lester.
Yeah.
So you can have him do a lot of things. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was going to be one of my questions. See, do you have what's your future plans with Lester? He's still a cub.
I just started working. Actually, I have two kind of ideas in my head for Lester, and I have I just began to illustrate, not illustrate, but just write a few words. And it's Lester Lyon loses grandpa. So it's about explain death to really young children.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I noticed more than once with the young kids is the parents would say something about, oh, we lost grandma, or oh, I'm so sorry, mommy lost the baby.
Yeah.
And really young children, that doesn't really compute very well for them because lost is like you lost your shoe. So if you lose your shoe, you can look for it and you can maybe find it. So I want to try to illustrate through the book the concept of death in a young, child appropriate way, of course. And then my other one that I'm thinking about is Lester Lyon is going to go to the doctor, because that can be very scary for children. And I want him to be exposed to actually, I'm kind of talking about myself. To be exposed to a really good doctor, because you need to have someone that you can relate to, whether you're a child or whether you're an adult. And so I want kind of Lester to kind of be a little bit nervous about going to the doctor, because he's kind of had a bad experience with someone who didn't listen to him. And then he finally finds a doctor that is able to help him and is able to understand him. So
yeah, that's good.
That's cool.
Both of those are good concepts.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, they are.
You can have a tough time selling the dentist on him, though.
There are good dentists.
I'm 55 and I still hate dentists.
Yeah.
I love my dentist. She's great, but I still hate them.
Yeah.
Some things will never change. I still think that's medieval torture, putting a drill in your mouth and saying, hold on.
No, I know. The shots are the worst, though. Man, the shots they give you before the drill. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. My dentist spares no mercy, stabbing me plenty of times, and I'm like, no.
I have a hard time getting numb anyway. I'm like,
Yeah,
here's some more. Here's some more. Here's some more. Like, okay.
I remember when I was a kid, just talking about dentists. I had the dentist drop the drill on my tongue.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the dentist forever. This is probably one of the reasons I still have a kind of fear, but I do not like dentists.
Yikes!
I think he was just mean. I think I was fidgeting or something. He just, I'll teach you. So.
Oh, probably. Probably right.
Yeah. We don't do that on fire trucks. We may honk the horn. If you tell us to come in with no lights and sirens, that's like a game to us. We're like, oh yeah, that's no. We get to play with these for a reason. So.
Yeah, I had a lot of people tell them to come without lights and sirens. Okay. Sure we will.
Don't tell them
they don't do that. They don't come without lights and sirens.
Yeah, we do, but very rarely. Very rarely. But yeah. But then again, you also got to realize that we work 24-hour shifts, and we got to have some entertainment in our shifts. So.
True. Excuse me, gosh. Woke up early this morning. So, how Did you go through Amazon at all, or?
Kirk House Publishers is my
Mhm.
publisher, but I'm featured on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So
Okay. So how, I don't know how to ask this question. The marketing, how did you do your marketing?
the marketing is a really, really tough part. And
Mhm.
now for this one, for Lester Lyon Calls 911, and actually, I think it's the reason why I'm here with you right now.
Okay.
Um, for my first book, you had to like do all the marketing on your own. So I did
Oh.
festivals, I went to like local toy stores and that
Mhm.
kind of thing, but it's very, very difficult to do. For my second book, Kirk House, my publisher offered us the opportunity to have a publicist. And there
Okay.
is a publicist that I am working with, and he's the one that connected me with you, with your
Oh,
show.
that's good.
So and
Yeah,
I've got
creative edge.
other
Yeah.
opportunities. So yeah, I think it's crucial to have a publicist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd be hard to market your own stuff. I mean, now I wouldn't even know where to start.
yeah, it's really difficult. I did like local festivals. It is like a beach community. So like in the summer they have like festivals. There's a lot of
Mhm.
tourists that come here. So that
Yeah.
helped a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's really, really tough to just kind
I'm
of do it like
sure.
on your own.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andy, welcome.
Hey,
Andy,
Andy.
this is Donna. She's the author we were talking about. Andy is from Maryland. He was at his nephew's baseball game. Is that right, Andy?
Yeah.
Did they win?
Yes, they did. They won the championship.
Oh, yay.
Good
That's
deal.
awesome.
And
Congratulations.
my nephew was the closing pitcher.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the marketing part, Donna, would be the hardest part.
Yeah.
And yeah, from a podcaster, also, I've gotten lucky to meet several good publicists,
Mhm.
writer, producer, people that go out and actively do that. So it's a great way to get your story out there. I like to joke and say, well, you're on my show, 20 people will hear about it, but it's there forever, so it doesn't go anywhere. But
No, we can.
there's a
We
couple more than that, maybe 5, but not many.
Oh, shush. No, when we can not market it, but advertise it on our Facebooks, and then our friend and open it to the public. Then our friends can, will share it as well. So
Yeah, spread the word.
yeah, so that'll be good.
And definitely one of the outreaches is to your public fire department, police department.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's summer now, but like I'm going to wait until the fall, and then I'm going to contact all the schools.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that I will be able to get in and maybe like read the book to the.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
schools,
great.
Well,
because
that would be cool, and you'd enjoy that too.
I would
So
enjoy that
Mhm.
very much. Yes.
Yeah. They might buy some for their libraries as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be
I hadn't
good.
thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure your publicist knows how to get you on that. Let's
Yeah.
be
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember somebody was telling me, one of the other authors, there is in each state a head librarian, and they are the ones that send out lists to schools. I remember one of the authors told me that. I don't remember who now. It just came to me. I don't know. Contact the governor, I guess. I don't know who would be the head librarian for the.
You'd have to go through the school board, school. I guess the state
I guess, yeah, state.
school thing.
The Department of Education. Maybe?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, from the state, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's a guy in an office somewhere that reads every book.
Yes.
So would not be me. I have the attention to read about a comic book's worth. So.
I love kids' books. I used to read I'd go through my daughter's books before I'd, see that they're appropriate and everything for her age and whatever before I let her read them and stuff. But I was that parent. It's weird.
Well, you have to.
She turned out well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to do that as a parent, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. We only raised 3, so.
Yeah. That's true though. You do.
Well, yeah, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I won't get into the other stuff. How did you envision Lester? I mean, what made you decide with a lion? I mean, it could have been a panda bear or a koala bear. What made you come up with Lester?
That's a very good question, and I really don't have an answer. As I began to write the first one, Lester Lion wants to, well, since it was roaring, I think I thought of the lion. But I've had, other people have asked me that question. I don't really have a good answer to that because it just came into my head that it was a lion. And then, of course, Lester Lion for the alliteration, you know. But yeah, I don't know why I chose a lion. You're right. I could have chosen a panda bear, but I don't know. The lion resonated with me for some reason.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. I mean, could have just been your favorite. I was going to guess it was your favorite movie, Lion King, or as a kid, a stuffed animal. That was going to be my guess. So.
I like cats. I have cats, so maybe I'm a cat person.
Hopefully, you don't have any lions hiding in your backyard.
I do not.
Maybe you needed to become a lion.
Well, yeah, there you go. It's your spirit animal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I don't want to offend you. I don't know what a spirit animal, lion spirit animal is. You gotta be careful what you say these days. Well, I'm trying to think the best way to get it out there, and not just your message about how to do it, and get the book in the school and all that, but nationwide to everybody. I mean, we need to get this message out to them. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've been on the job for 20 some years, and I don't remember seeing any books about when to call 911. I've seen books about when to call the fire department, when to call for the police officers, but I don't ever recall seeing one specifically about 911. Now, granted, 911 is technically the late 80s, so that generation is just kind of starting to write books and stuff, but I don't recall seeing one. Did you do any research and look and see?
Yeah, I did some research, and I didn't find anything online about 911. And as I said earlier, I had parents come to me and they said, I wanted to read a book about when to call 911, and there is not anything out there. That was when I was still teaching, so I didn't have time to write at that point, but that stayed with me. A book about that. So when I did my research, there are other books about Lester Lion that I did not write, which is
really?
There are other Lester Lion books, but there's nothing that I found about calling 911.
That's interesting. I know that there used to be coloring books. I've seen those, but that was like back in the 80s. Mid to late 80s.
I was going to say kids don't know what a coloring book is now. Can you do it on your iPad?
Yeah. That was when kids had paper. When kids used paper back then.
Wow, Dina.
Shut up.
You're doing it. I'm just gonna let you keep going.
No, I don't care.
Well, some of the resources that I would think that would be good for you, Donna. APCO, American Professional Communicators Organization. Is that right, Dina?
Yes, that's correct.
APCO. And I'm friends with the president if you need a connection. I'm actually a friend with Jennifer. She's Jennifer. Yeah. Dina. Yeah, she's Jennifer. You're gonna ask me her last name. I don't remember. We worked on an ambulance together in Loudoun County many years ago. That was 25 years ago. But yeah, she's the president of APCO. Both Dina and I both worked for one of the former presidents of APCO, Barry Fury. So we know him. He's actually come on this show. Yeah.
Yeah, he would probably be a good one to get in touch with. I'm sure he would be able to
absolutely
help you get in touch with some people because he's still got contacts.
And he still writes for Firehouse and Fire Engineering.
Mm-hmm. So, you could probably put an ad in those magazines.
Yeah, Firehouse would be a good one. Trying to think, JEMS, JEMS, Journal of Emergency Medicine.
I've heard of them before.
Yes.
And I'm not sure. EMS magazine, it may not still be a thing. I don't know. It was free there towards the end. Zoll bought it. They're the ones who make the defibrillators, AEDs, and heart monitors.
FirstResponders.com.
Yeah. First responders.
Okay. Wow.
There you go, Andy. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're giving me good resources. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're not just about hearing your story. We're about helping you get the word out there on something this important.
Yeah, it is very important.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. I'll tell a little kid story here. The department in Tennessee I worked for, was volunteer for, they didn't go out into the schools until I came there. And I twisted arms, broke legs. I was that guy. I was the damn Yankee that moved to Tennessee. And no, true story. Now every October they're out there. I started a thing where the firehouses compete. They have it's a whole thing. I heard later after we had a fire that the child only knew how to get out because of us coming to the classroom.
Oh wow.
My entire career for just one person. I'm sure that's not. I'm sure there's been multiple, but it makes a difference.
Oh
for
yeah.
us.
Gosh. That gave me chills.
I mean, we always talk about when we talk about loss on a child, we grieve for what could have been.
Yeah.
And on an adult, we grieve for what was. And so when you look at it from our point of view, if we helped one young person, a little one, how many else did we touch? You know, and that's the important thing. I mean, we get on here, joke and carry on and stuff, but that to me is the most important, is getting the message out about not just this, but anything with public safety. I'm sure you know right now, some parts of public safety got a little bit of a black eye, or the public's a little bit down on them.
Yeah.
But I've done this for 30 some years, maybe. And
long time.
I can tell you, I've never run across a bad person in any branch, public safety. So, wait a minute, was he mumbling Andy, fire chief?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were mumbling about the fire chief was a bad guy, but no.
No, there are. I mean, the people that are in this business are in it to help, and like Glenn said, I've never run into anybody that didn't. I mean, there are a lot of egos, I will say, but deep down, I mean, even the ones that have huge egos are really, really want to help people, and there are not that many that have them. But
there's a back and forth with cops and firemen.
Yeah,
always, and it's good natured.
Yeah, so, and it's just competition. That's it.
Yeah, I always tell them that most of the police officers, the reason they became police officers was because they couldn't pass the test to become a fireman. So.
That's always. They're a bunch of jokesters, is what they are.
Oh yes.
I think it's like teaching in a way. There's a lot of bad things they say about like teachers, but all the helping professions, I think you really have to like people and want to help.
Oh yeah.
People, So no, I think most people have the. I mean, there's teachers that have different personalities too.
Right.
But, I think most people have their heart in the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to help others. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I found another one. Firehouse.com.
Oh, yes.
Firehouse.com. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, remind me. I will, Jennifer, I will put you in touch with her. I can't think of her last name.
Remembers her last name.
Solve this cover for me. I'm going to go to Facebook and look it up.
I wrote Jennifer down, but I think I need a little bit more.
Yeah. Cover for me for a minute, Dean. I got to find this now. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, she goes from teaching to the 911 centers, teaching them, because even we need education on the new technology and stuff coming out.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's one of her jobs. Well, that didn't really help me a whole lot. Apparently, I know a lot of Jennifers.
Oh, wow. You can
I'll-
get in touch with her. Yeah.
yeah, I will, because I think that would be great to get APCO and I can't remember the name of the other group involved, but APCO's the biggest. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, well, Barry would know. And
Yeah,
Barry Fury, I can get in touch with Barry Fury. You've got my email address. Just email me, and I'll put you in touch with Barry. Because he wrote a book too.
Yeah,
he wrote a book about how to run a 911 center, not how to call 911.
Yeah.
Well, in your next book, obviously Lester's going to be on a fire truck or an ambulance. I hope. Well, he's got to be on an ambulance. So, because an ambulance is looked at as kind of like the, I won't say meat wagon, but that's where you go when you get a boo-boo.
Yeah. You got a boo-boo.
Yeah. And so you want to get the children used to looking at it as, not where you just go if you're hurt. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing a lot of people don't realize. Prior to COVID's changed a lot of things, but a lot of times you can go to your public firehouse and just drop in and see the guys or the EMS station and gals, and we are more than glad to show you around. And
Yeah.
We love teaching the kids this stuff. Of course, they want to play with the sirens. I do too. So,
Yes.
yeah, I still do. Yeah. That's one of the only main things I miss about the job is playing with the sirens. But that's not true. I did it for. I honestly don't know, because I started as an explorer. I started as a Boy Scout, and so I was in you got to be 13 to be an explorer. So I started when I was 13 doing this. So
wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm old, but yeah. Well, like I told Drilly, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So
yeah.
I've been frustrated plenty. I've honked my siren at plenty of people, but
Oh, you're so grouchy.
As I'm so grouchy. Well, and that's something else a lot of people don't realize. Why aren't you there right now? Well, we got to get to you, and what's on the road there? Holy cow! And
people, if you have your radio up loud,
needs to teach people to pull to the right.
Yes.
Because I've yelled that on the PA many times and gotten in trouble by my chiefs from it.
They don't hear you.
Well, you're not supposed to call them out by orange car.
Oh, well.
With the blonde. Pull to the right.
Oh gosh.
I'm embarrassed, but you're not supposed to do that. But it is effective. I've been told. I've never done it. But
yeah.
Yeah, pull to the right is a lesson. Gosh, it sounds like we want to write the book for you now.
It does. We should write our own about how to handle the rules of the road.
I don't have the patience for writing a book. I don't think.
You can be my research partners for the next book. You can be my
we could do that. We could help you. We could help you out.
I'm actually doing that for another author for a firefighting book. So yeah, I'd be more than glad to help out.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we had an author on. She wrote a crime book, and after the show, I had finally finished the book. I messaged her and I said, "Hey, you had a scene in there with a paramedic. I want to tell you what you did wrong." And she's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Time out." Done this a couple times, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know." So yeah, anytime you get technical support, use it, because like I don't know a thing about writing. I mean, I've always wanted to write a comic book, but after interviewing some comic book artists, AI and her do my writing. So
AI takes my place.
Well, you're better at punctuation. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to put that apostrophe or whatever it is. Semicolon.
Colons and semicolons and periods.
Donna, I was a student that you had in class that you were just like, this boy's never going to amount to anything. My teachers are all amazed. What the hell? That's probably Mrs. Kashansky in English. She threw a book at me once.
Oh, Lord.
I think it was Shakespeare.
My English teachers loved me.
Yeah, she threw a book at me. Traumatized me. Shakespeare traumatized me.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you dealing with a
My
younger
math
one.
teachers, now my math teacher, they did not like me. Well, they liked me, but they didn't like my math skills. he, he was like, "Are you stupid?" This was a different time.
Yeah, it's a
he was
different
like
era.
I don't know if he was in the service. He must have been, because he was like this drill sergeant kind of guy. But he would do that to everybody. He was like,
Are you stupid? Yeah, that's why I'm in your class.
yeah.
You will learn
Oh
algebra.
gosh, he was tough. Tough. He would do it to everybody. Thing.
But we say this jokingly a lot. Miss Kashansky really did throw a book at me. But looking back, not only did I probably deserve it, I learned a lot from them. So
Yeah, I did learn a lot.
Don, even if you get the students and the parents that are mean later in life, they'll look at you and go, "Well, they're probably right." So
my dad, let me tell you this, he was awful.
I need to have my finger on a button.
No, he had this one teacher. He had the same teacher I had for some science class, and he didn't get along with him. But he told me, he said, "Go in there," and I didn't know any better. I was in 9th grade. He said, "Go in there and ask him if he's still a communist." I have no idea what it meant, so I went in there and I asked him. My dad told me to ask you if you're still a communist.
Wow.
He get your seat, Miss Yardell. What did I do?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, he couldn't stand me from then on. I was like,
oh, your dad set you up. I mean,
he did.
Funny as that was. Don, I feel like we've done more talking than you.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean,
on tangents.
Yeah, we do. Andy's the one that is quiet. We have to make him talk to us. But yeah, it's great to have you here and great to sharing your information.
Thank you.
The specifics of your book. Let's ask about that. How many pages is it, and what size is it?
It's 25 around 25 pages, and it's there's a paperback and a hardback copy. The paperback is the paper one I think is I mean the hardback is just like more expensive. It's really the same book in the paperback.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about 25 pages, around 500 words, which is about par for the course for a children's picture book. So
okay. What's the cost of it, if you don't mind? Each of them?
$14.95
for each of them, or?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Well, when I go to the festivals, to make it easy, because I do 15 for the book, but then I have, and I don't have one out, I have a little plush or a little stuffed animal lion that goes with it. So then for $20, you get the little stuffed lion and the book. Now that's really popular because the kids
that's
like little
cool.
stuffed
Oh,
animal.
yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that helps them remember while they're reading it.
Price.
Do they do audio books for children? Is that a thing? I don't know, honestly.
They do have audio books for children. I don't have Lester on audio yet, but I love audiobooks myself, so I would definitely think about it. And since my brain injury, that's how I read, because it's difficult. Well, I can read children's books, but it's difficult for me to read like a novel or something, just reading by by actual reading. But so I do audio all the time when I read books. So
that wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm sorry.
Who were some of the authors? I was just going to ask, since you were a teacher, who were some of the authors that inspired you? Not just to write, but in general.
Right. Oh, there's so many. It's hard for me to say. I like Stephen King a lot. I mean, I like really popular authors. I like Jodi Picoult a lot. She writes a lot about social issues. there's so many authors that I like. I almost like draw a blank. Lisa
Mhm.
Jewell, children's
Seriously.
authors. I'm drawing a blank on oh, you know who I really liked and who I used to read all the time in the classroom was Eric Carle. He writes a lot of good stuff for children.
Okay.
So
Okay. Is for you personal reading or audiobook, is there a particular genre you like more than the one over the other?
I would say mystery. I like mystery a lot. I
Me
actually
too.
have written an adult novel, which is in the editing phase right now.
Ah.
And it's like a mystery. It's about a kidnapped boy. So
Oh,
that is I'm going through Kirkhouse, so that will be published eventually, but it's being edited right now. So
you'll have to come back.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
if we have another show, the Paranormal Guys, where we do a lot of paranormal, but we also have a lot of sports and entertainers on there too. So, and authors. So
We do
yeah,
the mysteries.
over there.
We'll do the mystery
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we do. That would probably be closer for the genre for it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like a good mystery. I'm a science fiction guy. I grew up reading comic books. In my youth, there weren't that many. I mean, Scholastic, I think, had some, magazines, but there weren't a whole lot of really good kids books at the time. So I gravitated towards the superhero and the comic books.
You just didn't find them.
My school must not have been able. Well, you sound like you're a Little House on the Prairie. Your dad was in 9th grade, same teacher. I don't know. I was in a big school.
What are you talking about? We just had old teachers. My parents are only 20 years older than me.
Well, maybe in the big city they move them around a lot. I didn't have the same teachers. I don't think. No, I don't think so. Well, we were outside of Washington D.C., so we had a lot of people that were
You probably had a lot of
transient for
turnover.
the military and stuff too. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
Well, I was here in Knoxville, so we didn't have a whole lot of change.
Well, it's funny you just talking about that. Just from one part of the country to the other, how different the school systems are.
Yeah.
A kid that you were in the K through 12, the Little House on the Prairie school, but
no, we changed schools, goofy.
building burned down. It's okay, dude. You can let it out.
Oh,
She's
you're
gonna
so
let
funny. Hey.
No, I'll be nice. We're trying to do a kid show here. Andy's dying over there. Donna, we've kept you for about an hour. We promised we wouldn't keep you any longer than an hour. We want you to tell us where we can find your book. Obviously, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. If anybody wants to get in touch, do you do autograph books by any chance?
Yes, I do. I definitely do.
Okay.
Well,
I have a website. It's author DonnaMCramer.com. So.
Okay.
Write that down. I'll put that in the show notes after I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I edit every show afterwards, because YouTube, when you put up the show, you're only allowed to put up like 1,000 characters, but a lot of times just to get the whole description and what it is, it's much more. You write a book. AI writes my description, and Dina edits it. So Miss Kachansky was never that good to me. She didn't have the book. I'm sure you made a difference in quite a few kids' lives, and we appreciate what you do, especially with the special ed. That can't be easy. So I, as a firefighter paramedic, I look to you and think, gosh, how could you have done it? It was a hard job. So thank you for what you did. Thank you for doing this book.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I will get in touch with you. You've got my email. Follow up with me, because I'm horrible about, well, I get some emails. Just remind me, and I will put you in touch with my friends, because I think that would be a big help.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. Yeah, I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and those magazines will be great for to advertise your book in.
Okay, right. I have heard of them before too.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. So when you reminded me, because I had heard of them before. So.
Yeah. There's is there a magazine for 911? Do you know, Dina? I know fire department has, police has a magazine.
Yes,
I don't think so.
Yes, there is, I think.
Is there? I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't think there is.
I don't remember seeing one.
Andy, before we let her get out of here, since you got in here a few minutes late, did you have any questions for her?
No, actually, I don't.
Well, I'm glad you came by, Donna. I know when you first got, you were like, challenge coins, what are those? And that's an idea you might think about later, making a little coin to go with the book.
With the book, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
We, Matt is the guy that does a lot of the artwork for me. We can help you with that too. We've done one for a couple of our guests, and we're doing another one for, he wrote a book for paramedics about calls. There's something about a call at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. when you get a call and you're on the fire truck or ambulance, it's a bad call. Somebody really needs you. I don't know what it is about the 3 a.m. hour. You hear them say the witching hour, or whatever. I can tell you, for being on the truck, when you get a call at 3 a.m. and there's a fire, it's a fire. When you get a 3 a.m. call, somebody's sick, they're sick. He wrote a book about that. And we're doing starting working on the process of making him a coin for his next book, because a lot of the people like me that are out of it now, we still haven't processed all the stuff that we saw in our 30-some year career. So there's a lot of guys out there, guys and gals. I don't mean to single out anybody that are putting out some good stuff.
Nina, NENA, is the other organization, and their magazine is called The Call, but I'm not sure.
I forgot about Nina. Yeah, they're more. Yeah. Are they more West Coast?
I don't remember.
I've heard of them, but
we were part of them.
Oh, I thought we were all APCO.
No, we had some stuff with them.
Dina did most of her career at a 911 center. I decided to do it while I was in paramedics, EMT and paramedic school, like a dummy, and then I went out in the field like another big dummy. But she's been telling me where to go for years. So yes, she has.
So they have a magazine called The Call, but I'm not sure if it's like actually a magazine or something they have just for members. Can't tell.
No, we can.
But you could check out their website too.
How do I get to the website? Is it just like The Call? Or
Nina.org, NENA.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I forgot about them. I totally had. Yeah, because most I dealt with was APCO. But all right, Donna. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We're glad you came on.
Thank you for all you do too. My husband had a heart attack about a year ago, and of course, I had to call 911, and it's just it's amazing what you people do too, because it's like very, very they really got me through it. He actually collapsed on me in the house.
Oh, goodness.
The 3 people that came were just like marvelous, and I don't know what I would have done without them. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
Glad they were helpful. That's great.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you love what you're doing, sometimes you get frustrated. You call me because you get hit by a tick. Yay.
No. I mean, everybody's emergency is their own emergency. But
that isn't got what landed me in the psychiatric office at 911 when they asked me to describe my job. I said, "Oh, I intermingle with people's nightmares dailies." Yeah, I was told that day.
God.
So we have a sick sense of humor too, and I don't know if you got the whole story, but the other co-host that used to be with us that was bit by the snake. The snake was still attached to her when they put her in the ambulance. And as a paramedic in the back of the ambulance, hell no. Hell no. There would have been a hatchet, an axe, maybe a gun.
Oh my gosh.
Some type of demolition would have occurred for a snake to get in my hands. So, yeah.
I guess it was latched on, wasn't it?
Yeah, she said that you're talking about Brenda's bite, right? Yeah, she said the fangs went in one side and come out and basically went through one part of her bone. They actually had to chop the snake's head off, take the body out, and then they snipped the fangs, pulled the head off, and then just released
Pulled the fangs through. Yeah, dang.
I think the fangs actually have like a barb on them. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And they're actually curled.
Yeah.
So they don't go
Wow.
straight in. They
Yeah, they
like a
curve.
backward C.
So you could have got that thing with. Well, I'm probably gonna be too graphic here, but I would have whacked that snake in half. It wouldn't have gotten the back of my truck. I ran one snake call in Tennessee, and they told me where the snake was, and I said, "Okay, we're not going near there. We've learned a lesson. Don't go over there. You get bit."
Oh,
So
wow.
my ambulance, we're safe.
Tell the patient to come to us. We'll wait outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a
And
what?
just
It was a
copperhead.
copperhead. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a copperhead.
A venomous
Dang.
snake. Yeah. She had to get the anti venom. So
Dang.
my patient was only bit by a regular snake, but I wasn't chancing it. I didn't know. So
Such a baby.
I wasn't good. I am not a wildlife, whatever you call it, identifier. So, it's not my job. So, all right, Donna, I'm sure we're boring you at this point.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was
you
great
very
to meet
much.
you.
It was nice
And,
to meet you too. I'll keep
and,
you in mind for research. You'll be my
Okay.
partners in the
Absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
future.
yeah,
We'll help you any way we can.
Okay, that's
yeah,
great.
I'm a firefighter, paramedic. Andy works for the fire department. Dina's an EMT and worked in 911 most of her career. Yeah, we'd be
I
more
was
than
an
glad.
EMT. Not anymore, but I was.
Yeah, always an EMT. Once you learn it, you never forget it.
That's true. Too.
But Donna, thank you. And we'd be more than glad to help. And if you want to design a coin to go on the book or with the book, let us know.
Okay, I'll think about
We
that.
can,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we can come, and they're not. I mean, they're not outrageous in price either. Because I know as an up and coming author, you have to fund a lot of it yourself from the
Yes.
people I've interviewed.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, it's not. It wouldn't be that bad, and we'd help you out too. So.
Yeah, we could do a Lester the Lion coin.
That would be very cool.
It would be cool.
Hey, I'm glad you said. Hold on, before you go, Donna. This is one we just made actually, and when you said lion, it reminded me. Well, on my other show, the Paranormal guys, we interviewed Miranda Maverick, and she is a MMA fighter ranked 14th in the flyweight division, and so she's long story short, she's pretty good and she can kick your ass. Well, her logo, she is very sweet. Her logo is Fear the Maverick.
Yeah.
And she wanted a coin because she started, and I kid Dina a lot, but Miranda also has got a country background, and they did a lot of the taking care of the family and canning and raising the crops. And, she started a business where she makes pickles. And so she calls it Prowler's Pickles. She asked us to come up with a design for putting the MMA, which is obviously the octagon, and the lion, which is what she chose, in a pickle. And so we just did that one for her. The past month or so. So yeah. And we just, because it's kind of cool to maybe one day she'll give one on ESPN to the person, or she'll just toss it down on the ground. The person should beat up or something. You would never do that. And I'm sorry, Miranda, if you're listening. You should WWE should get him in the head with.
Oh yeah.
I told you, sharp turn. It went sour. Thank you for coming on.
Right.
Please keep in touch with me.
Okay,
And if there's
I will. I'll email you. Thank you very much, and thanks for the
Absolutely.
opportunity to do this too. This is
Great.
Hey, if you want to come back on, if you're bored one Friday night, just let us know. We always are just
Okay.
carrying on.
Yeah, we're just messing around.
Yeah, we have Susan from protecttheblueline.com. She comes on a lot of times. She's like, "You got anybody tonight?" I'm like, "Come on, we'll have fun." So, but yeah, Donna,
Yeah.
well, thank you. You, as long as you don't throw a book at me, we'll be great. So,
No, I'm not much of a book thrower, so
No, yeah.
thanks to us, traumatized me. All right, Donna, thank you very much. We will see you soon.
okay, thanks a lot.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Yeah, well, I hit that. I got. Hey, Donna, you're still there. I got rid of Dina.
That's okay.
No,
Wrong
it's
one.
Well, you know. All right, we'll
Yeah.
see
Button,
about
Glenn.
that. Oh, and by the
Bye.
way, she didn't just leave us. Her internet went out during the storm, so
Yeah.
she messaged us. So she said to tell you to keep in touch with her as well. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. Hit the right button this time. I did not do that on purpose that time.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it
did.
first
You did
neither.
too.
No, I double clicked, and when it
Next time it's gonna be both of us, Dina.
I think it will. It's
This
pop
is
us
my
off.
show. I am the king.
Oh God! Quick, throw him a pickle.
I know it.
Hey, I had some of them earlier with a sandwich. Those are really great, actually. So,
Really?
Are they?
yeah, I got the fire ones, and oh yeah, they're a little warm. They're a little warm. Yeah, I put too many of them on. I was like, "Ooh, extra water."
Oh wow.
Yeah, they are really good though. And she's not a sponsor, but they are really good pickles. I would highly recommend them to anybody. And I'm saying that as a
Are they
consumer.
on her
not
website?
Yeah,
Prowlerpickles.com.
prowlerpickle.com. Yeah. .com. Yeah, it's a special site. You can only get to it if you do it with a lisp.
.com. Prowlerpickle.com.
Hold on, I got a sound effect I gotta play. Hold on. Oh, where is it? I wanted to do this with Brenda for so long, but I never got the chance to. Now that my screens are all moved around, I'm all out of things over here. I haven't found everything yet. Oh. But well, the good news tonight is obviously we have the Parapost network that we're working with. And I talked to the people at the Thin Line Rock Station, and we're doing good things there. I'm trying to figure out how to get the people to come over there that listen to me to come over here.
Yeah.
My shenanigans are sometimes. Oh, here's the Brenda sound.
Oh God.
I'm in the shower. I'm in the shower.
Jack. Jack, open the door.
Yeah. There's a snake on me. Oh,
I'm in the shower.
Take out my bone.
I'm in the shower.
I need a snake sound effect now.
There's a snake on my bone. Not my boot, but there's a snake on my bone. In my bone.
She'd been wearing shoes that wouldn't have happened. Shoes that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, she didn't have shoes on?
No.
Oh, Lord.
She's
She doesn't wear shoes.
Or pants.
Woman.
Yeah, or pants.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so, but we wish her well. Even if she was kind of.
Yeah. Oh, bless her heart.
So, love her to death. No
She
matter
said she
what.
stuck her foot out to protect it because the snake was going after the dog.
Oh, my gosh. Well, it
Shotgun.
probably would have killed the dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tiny dog, so yeah, depending on how
Yeah.
big the snake is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a tiny snake can eat a pretty big creature. I don't understand how they do it, but they can do it. I've seen with birds. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anything larger than a bird, with a snake, but it's still, I mean, proportion wise.
Yeah.
No. And I did read, speaking of snakes, the pythons from Florida are moving north.
To Georgia.
Yeah, but they're going to be Tennessee too.
No.
Yeah.
What?
That's,
It's too cold for them here.
No.
Seriously?
Timber
Oh,
rattlers.
man.
Timber rattlers are in Maryland. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
What?
we have them in
Yeah.
Maryland.
We've got rattlers here, yeah.
Yeah. But they weren't always that far north. I didn't realize, but when I moved to Tennessee, I'd never seen they're called timber rattlers in the South, but they're just a family member of the rattlesnake.
Yeah, the brown rattlesnakes.
But yeah, now they're as far up as Maryland.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're I guess, population, because there's so many of them competing, they're slowly moving. I mean, there's alligators now in Atlanta. Think about that.
What the?
Yeah.
we
Not
got
just
a
being
shitload of
criminals on the
copperheads
streets. Yeah, there's
We got a shitload of copperheads here in Maryland.
What the heck? I was
So
surprised to
yeah,
hear copperhead in Texas.
yeah.
That
But
surprised me.
I wish I.
It could be
I
too
would see
dry
that.
for him there.
Well, they don't need a lot of water, do they? Snakes?
I don't think so.
I thought copperheads
No,
were
you're thinking of
around
moccasin.
water.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of a
Water
moccasin.
moccasin.
Yeah, you're.
I am.
Yeah, I don't think those are. I mean, we have them here near the lake.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're up far. Like, I don't know if they're up in East Tennessee. Well, I don't know. I think we had moccasins in Virginia. We had.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was a kid, so I wasn't really sure, but I think we did. Because I think
water
somebody in
Yeah.
schools got hit by
Yeah,
one.
there's moccasins in Virginia.
Yeah.
Is there? Okay. So yeah.
So you're saying the pythons
Mhm.
are coming
Because-
up from Florida?
Yeah, because there are so many of them, and I guess because the population of how they hunt or territory or
I
whatever,
like
but they're
that.
slowly moving. Think I do? I am not a snake fan at all. So
I don't mind
me
little
either.
snakes, but I don't like big ass snakes like that.
I remember
I
the
mean,
first time
I don't
met a
care about
mouse.
the big rat snakes or whatever. They don't bother me, but
I had to learn about them because some of the ones that I think I showed you the picture. I took one at Mom's house. The thing was almost as long as the back deck.
yes.
It took me a while to learn about friendly ones because
Mhm.
up north we didn't really have the friendly ones. We had
Yeah.
the copperheads was really it.
Mhm.
And even in Virginia, there was a pond. There's 2 ponds in our neighborhood. I mean, not real close, but a couple blocks. But yeah, so we had them, and there were in Virginia that I only remember seeing like maybe 2 garden snakes. They were called, I think.
Mhm. They're little.
Yeah,
Little or small.
yeah, they were. But the other ones, I remember seeing them. But the first rattlesnake I ever saw was in Luttrell. We were fighting a brush fire.
Oh, really?
And we were going up the side of the mountain, and timber rattlers were coming down.
Yeah.
And I walked past him and wasn't even paying attention. And one of the guys said to me, he said, "Well, I'm glad to see the city boy's not afraid of them pets." And we got back to the station, and there was one of the guys. That's right, Ken. We do have a picture of you with a snake. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, yes, we do have moccasins because every time I went fishing with Ken as a kid, he would be reeling in a tiny fish, and a snake would grab it on its way in. And I'd be like, "Fine, cut the line." He was the only person I ever fished with. Every time I went with Ken. But yeah, he the fireman told me, he says, "Yeah, I was glad to see we weren't afraid of those pets." I'm like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Yeah.
Well, after we got done with the fire, there had been some guys at the bottom of the mountain, and they had them in a sack. In the back of the truck.
They pick them up
And that was,
and throw them in
and I was
the
like, "That is in the mountains?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're everywhere." I'm like, "Okay, last brush fire I'll ever be on." Burn them out. Burn
we
to the ground.
Me and Brooke and a bunch of us from 911 went up hiking to one of the falls, and Melissa's little sister Brooke, we were standing there. I think it was me and her, looking at the little tiny rattlesnakes on the side of the of the trail, saying, "Oh, they're so cute. They're so little." Little did we know that they were the most venomous. We were just standing there about 2 feet from it.
My daughter, Paige, she would at one point in time in her life wasn't afraid of any creature.
Yeah, Katie wasn't either.
This gallon jar
Mm-hmm.
full of little tiny water moccasins.
Oh my god!
And they were hitting the side of the glass.
Oh my lord!
Get them! Just get on down there. I'm like, no,
picked them up and put them in the jar.
Yeah,
Tadpoles.
No.
Yeah.
Take the jar back.
Yes.
The little ones are the most venomous.
Yeah.
Maybe not that big, but the smaller ones are. Yeah.
Yeah, the small ones.
That was like right when we moved here. They were down at the lake playing, and she's like, "Oh, look what I got, Dad!" I'm like,
yeah.
No,
like, no, we're breaking my
let me take this. I'll go put them back for you.
Yeah. Leave them in the jar till they die.
At BobbyDisney.com. But
Yes.
I will hold on. I got a sound effect for that somewhere. Hold on. I like playing this sound effect too. I got more new sound effects too. It's so cool.
He's like,
Not saying that's what happened to the snakes, but
pretty close.
could have been.
You could have just left them in the sun and let them dry up.
That's cruel, Dina. Why would somebody
More
do
cruel
that?
than shooting them.
I don't know. Bobby stomped possums. I just
Could have baked them and they would have been good jerky.
No.
I don't.
Just kidding. Just
Can you
kidding.
eat snakes?
You
Oh,
can
have
eat
you
snake.
eat?
Heck
Can
yeah,
you?
you can eat a snake.
Okay, I don't know. I'll take the fifth. I don't know. I wouldn't eat it, but I mean, I get. Well, yeah, I guess I've seen in these survival shows they've done it. So I mean, yeah, I guess it's down in Florida. The iguanas, people eat them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
it's weird.
Andy, tell us about some good calls in your area. Let's talk a little bit about public safety. Anything good happen in your area?
We haven't had any nasty calls or any
Mm.
weird ones.
Nothing.
Well, actually, they just did have one medical call. They told it to expedite the police, and they said why. They said there's a family member coming in the house with a gun.
Oh, yeah.
They
That's
picked the patient up, threw it in the back of the ambulance, and hauled ass to the hospital.
oh dang.
And said the firefighters are still in the house. Send the cops.
Oh Lord,
Can't say I've ever done that, but
left them in there.
can't say I wouldn't either. So,
Yeah.
well, here in Atlanta, we've had a problem with depending on whom you talk to, water main breaks. We've had several that were over 5 foot, the big ones, 4
Oh
foot.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on who you speak with, it's old equipment. Other people are saying, yeah, no, not so much. It's sabotage. So
Oh.
the city of Atlanta for the past 2 weeks has had a tanker task force responding on calls because there's no water pressure or there's not enough water in the city of Atlanta. So
Oh,
we've had
wow.
that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the city is actually thinking now about buying tankers. And see, this will pass because they
Yeah.
also at one point in time thought about after a blizzard, they bought snowplows. You know how many times we use them?
Mm-hmm.
So
What?
they got rid of them.
Exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, well, they did have an administrator that thought about putting snowplows on the front of fire trucks, and I'm not making that up. There was a chief that
Wow.
came out with that, like, yeah, that firemen are crazy. You
Well, at
do
least
not
your
want
city
to-
knew about the water main
No.
break.
Well,
Yeah.
it was kind of
Unlike
hard
the
not.
calls
to.
we get, they hook up to the hydrant and the hydrant's broke.
Oh, we get plenty of those, but no, these were like large holes in the ground formed.
How
And
do you think?
it took out like blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Huge
You think
blocks of
somebody
this.
pickaxed it, or
It was a very large hole on
Yeah,
each of them.
more like a front end loader did it.
oh
Yeah, it was, and the city put out this photo that they're now in trouble for, but it shows the big pipe that they removed and they put in a new pipe. Well, the pipe had the handle on it, you turn on and off.
yeah.
It was buried 8 feet in the ground. So how many times have that thing been turned on and off?
Oh,
You know what I'm
what?
saying? Why would you bury? So yeah, the city's in a little bit of trouble for that.
Wow.
I mean, why would you bury the control
Yeah,
valve?
that's crazy.
So yeah, so I mean, I guess maybe I don't know. I'll say 100 years, maybe it wasn't 100, but maybe 25 or 50 years ago. But still, why would you bury it?
Yeah, that's weird.
And then we had a huge 2-alarm fire here in Gwinnett County, a historic barbecue joint, Sonny's Barbecue, one of the originals, burned to the ground, struck by
Oh,
lightning. During it occurred during when I lost power. It's a different part of town,
yeah.
but I mean, it was still a pretty bad storm. And then just today, the craziest of calls, Lake Lanier, which is part of it is in Gwinnett, I think part of it's in like 2 other counties. It's a pretty large lake, had an earthquake. A
At the
measurable earthquake. Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. We had a
Jeez.
pretty that prompted a lot of calls. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we've had that. Yeah, it's just another sign that we're all gonna die soon. So
Yeah. Tuesday we had a 2-alarm fire. Well, it was dispatched as an apartment fire. They get on the scene and the neighbors come running out. Hey, the kids are still in the building. The kids are still in the building.
Oh
So of
no.
course they pack up, do the 2 in, 2 out thing,
yep.
Yeah.
and they're in there searching up on the 3rd floor for the kids. Comes to find out, the mother comes home and says, "What's going on? What's everybody's yelling around?" They go, "We're looking for your kids." She said, "They're at school."
What made him think they were still in the building?
Apparently, some lady that lives there has Alzheimer's.
Mm.
Said that the little kids were still in the
Oh,
building.
bless her.
Well,
Bless her
I mean,
heart.
she might have legitimately thought they were. So
Yeah.
well, but you know that's why we.
Oh, and then we did have a hazmat at one of the other schools.
What was it?
Yes, a picture of the school bus ambulance.
Yeah, did you see that?
A school
Yeah.
bus? A school bus ambulance?
Yeah, it's called
Wow.
it's called MAB 18, Mass Casualty Ambulance Bus.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
we
It
have
was
one in
Freon
Atlanta.
22, air
Freon.
conditioning Freon,
Oh
leaking out
wow.
of. They took 3 patients to the hospital: a student, a staff member, and a maintenance worker.
Huh.
Well, Freon can be bad.
All
stuff.
3 of them were exposed to it.
If it touches your
Jeez.
skin, it's bad. I'm
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
They said they had it
Well-
all over the ceiling, the walls.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to close the schools. School started at 9:15. They left at 11:15.
I was gonna
Dang.
say, but didn't your schools last year have a rash of closing for strange things there for a while?
Yeah, one school got closed 3 days in a row because one kid set the school on fire. The other one pulled the fire alarm.
Gosh. That's crazy. Crazy.
When we were kids, we were always afraid to do that.
Yeah.
And the sad of it,
We always
the
used to
sad of
think
it part of it
come on.
was the one kid set the fire, and the next day his brother pulled the fire alarm.
Oh man. I bet their mom was like livid.
Oh,
What the
I bet
Fire
they got-
marshal, fire marshal was not happy.
I bet they got home and got a little bit of
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably needed 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to go pick him up at the police station.
Oh wow. Here,
Oh.
Edie. There you are.
You know, when we were kids, we were always afraid to pull the fire alarm because we were always taught that the ink would shoot out onto your hand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
pull the little lever down, it says
Yeah.
they always say that the ink sprays back. It's invisible ink. You can't see it. You see it
I've
under
never heard that.
ultraviolet light.
That's what they told us growing up. And
I have
as a
never heard
fireman,
that in my
when I
life.
when I first started taking the fire marshal classes, I asked about that. They're like,
Uh-huh.
what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, there's a little hole right there. And they're like, yeah, that's where you put the thing in to turn it and reset it.
Oh my lord, you all are stupid.
I have one now as a from a building that was torn down. I took one.
Oh,
And I'm
did you?
going to put it on my wall. And I was like looking, where's the ink cartridge go?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
See,
there's
they
some-
didn't tell us that because we're not that stupid. We've
Yeah,
been like,
your school didn't have fire alarms. They were that old.
yes, they did.
Ting,
You
ting, ting,
asshole.
ting,
You and Laura Engel. It's somebody on
ting. Lower
fire.
angles.
Hold on.
Good
a minute, I
night,
got
Jim
that.
Bob.
Too late.
It's all right on this show. We don't grab on FM, so.
I know it.
But we are developing quite a following, and I'm happy about that. And any of the people who are following us from the Finland Rock Station, contact me. If you want to come on the show, great. If you want to challenge Coin Made, great. Come on. We'll take care of you. We love it.
Yeah, let's do it. Do it.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Speaking of which, who do we have booked next week? Do you know right off the top of your head, Dana?
I
Let me
do
look.
not.
I do not either, and I should. I probably should look this up beforehand. But you know me and my great skills of running a show. What day is this? Friday.
It is.
Oh, next week we have another great one for kids. Lieutenant Tina,
Lucia?
Lieutenant Tina Geiler. She owns Triple F, Fierce Female Firefighters, and they
Ooh.
have dolls. Check them out for kids. And
Awesome.
in fact, actually, I hate to say this, but I was supposed to have bought one already for Harper.
Oh,
Yeah, because I sent the link. And was like, hey, was this what I asked? Because I asked Kyle, since he has a child about that age, and he's like, yeah, she wants. I think the doll's name was Emma, and she wants that one. I forgot, but so she's got dolls out for kids. So yeah,
bad grandpa.
There we go. Challenge coin. Picture the doll in it.
Well, yeah, we had talked about that too because she's also about she goes around speaking about females in the fire industry and how it's a much needed thing. A lot of people think we're just big, tough, bulky firemen. Well, I'll be the first to tell you that in the fire academy, I had a girl that was probably 5'2", maybe $125, carrying me out of a burning building in a training fire.
Yeah.
And so I have no problem with having a female in the truck with me. So I felt sorry for her, though. I told her, I said, I'll help you. And she's like, don't you help me one bit.
Yeah.
Don't you help me one bit. And I was like, I'll crawl. I'll do it. Because, here I'm in my gear. I'm probably pushing 260, 270.
Yeah.
And we had one female. She was exactly 5 feet tall, 127 pounds. She pulled up a 24-foot ladder out of the engine and put it up herself.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, what's cool, a lot of people think, it is about upper body strength and all that. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of it is angles and techniques.
Yeah.
Even for I met a guy in Virginia that taught us, did some training with us, how to take 2 of the 24-foot ladder trucks at the same time and carry them. Now, granted, it's not something you want to do every day because you have to drag them. You don't want to damage your ladder. But if you got to get a ladder, and he showed, and it was just technique of doing it. And it's not, it's not something, like I said, you do every day. You're going to be sore as hell afterwards. But it's so, and no, but I would any day of the week. Because we used to get called at random. And me and her were on Rescue 19 that day, and they called us down to the fire academy, and they're like, hey, it's time for you to do your, you have to crawl through a building and come out a window. Every year you got to do, it's a paperwork thing, really, because we do it all the time in the city department that's pretty busy. Yeah. And the instructors were like, they didn't like her. She was a recruit, too, a fairly new recruit, too. And they didn't like her. Think about it. And she was a young, tiny female. And I was like, hey, look, I'll try to help you because, I'm sorry you're stuck with me. If she'd been on the ladder company that day or the engine company, she'd have had 3 people instead of 2. Me and her. And she's like, don't you help me. Don't you help me one bit. Yeah. And I was like, are you sure? And she did. She dragged me out of the building, pushed me through a window. Of course, at that point, we were attached to a rope and took me down the ladder. So nice. Yeah, it was funny because I called Beth. They took pictures of it. All the guys at the fire department did, and I sent them to Beth. I was like, "Hey, you don't have to worry about me." I was like, I got some tough people at my station. Yeah, yeah, she did, and she told me,
carry you.
It's all about it's more of a drag at that point, but and it was all just. And some of the instructors were kind. They were like, okay, let me show you a proper technique. Yeah. So you're hurt for one thing, and 2, so we're not here all day because he's a fat ass. So he didn't say that, but there could have been. I know. Yeah. Hey, I was carrying my captain. We had to train. Oh God, Andy, what are they called? It's the stretchers where they fold out and you put the pike pole in them, and it's just a tarp.
The reeve stretcher.
Yeah. We had to train. They sent us down there for a specialty class, and we had to make those with our pike poles and all of our gear. Oh Lord! Wounded firemen and run across a field. Run dumbass Glenn found the only hole, and I was carrying my
That's a
captain.
pain in the ass
no.
to do too.
I bet.
Yes, it is. We all went tumbling.
Gosh, didn't you get poked by the poles?
Well, no, I threw him when I was falling over.
Oh, it's like, get the hell away.
Did they
You're
used to
already
make
hurt.
you, did
You're
they
already
make you
hurt.
run in full gear
Yes,
and,
we had to.
and air pack?
Yes, yeah, we had. And, in the fire academy, we had to carry the. Was it Pompier ladder? I think it's called. It's a 30 or 40-foot ladder. It's got poles on it. I think
Mhm.
it's called Pompiers. I can't remember. It's been so long. They don't use them well, they use them very rarely. The point of the ladder is it's so tall, it has these big metal poles that come out, or its anchor. So typically in a big city, we don't use them. But at the academy, we luckily had 4 of them.
Oh, yay.
And so 3 of us, and that thing's a huge ass ladder, had to run up to Station 20, through the bay, come back out and down, and don't you dare run out of air. Don't you? You will die before you stop. You will stop breathing. You will not. Yeah.
How do you not run out of air? I mean,
You gotta really know how to
It's
breathe
not
with the
easy,
mask on.
yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy. When I would be one to tell you I might have been sucking a little bit to my face because it comes right up to your face.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna let them see me sweat, but yeah, I'm glad I did that when I was young. Holy shit!
Yeah.
And we had the instructors that were ex Marine drill
Oh my
sergeants.
goodness.
Oh,
I'm not. Oh, and I'm not kidding. They really were. Fred Johnson. After a hot summer in July, full air pack. We'd done all the burns that day, and we'd done our PT, and we pissed them off. And we're down there doing push-ups again. And I got this. What's a girl's best friend? Diamonds. You got to do the diamond push-up in full turn gear. And I was dying. He got down. He was like right up my ear. He goes, Jackson, if you can give me one good push-up, I'll make everybody stop and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like going,
He's like, I can't.
yeah. And that's why he was doing it too.
Happen.
Oh no.
So I hated it at the time, but looking back, it was probably some of the. This was me doing the push-up.
I can't.
That was me. So, but yeah, I mean, at the time we hated it, but looking back, now it was fun. I mean, I hate to say that, but
That's true.
yeah, they at that fire academy, they really broke you down. Whew. It was like being in the military, but we did learn a lot, and they were great guys looking back. But at the time, I hated every one of their guts. I hated them with a passion, and they hated paramedics because we were new to the fire department.
Yeah.
Because we were there, they know how to answer medical calls. Because prior to us,
Yes.
the old chief only made them go on priority 1 calls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that paramedics are here, you're going on everything.
We are.
Hated us with a passion. So, but a lot of good friends, a lot of good times, a lot of good calls, helped a lot of good people. So, and probably some bad people too. I'm sure.
Yeah, well.
And plenty of firehouse shenanigans. Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
We had a call the other morning for a cardiac arrest, and about 3 hours later, we get called back to the scene and with a hazmat truck. And they said, be advised when you respond, wear your SCBA. So found out that the dead person was in the house for 7 weeks before they found her.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah, and it smelled like shit.
I'll bet. Cardiac arrest? What are you talking about?
She was only 34.
Oh, my gosh. Was it a suicide or?
No, I think it was probably a drug overdose.
Oh. That would be my second guess.
But yeah, 7 weeks worth of mail on the front porch.
Oh, dang.
We had one in a small rural county in East Tennessee in the mountains where they were in a hot tub and they hadn't seen him in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Ooh, I bet that looked.
We found them.
Nasty.
I didn't eat chicken and dumplings for a long time.
Oh, nasty.
Oh. Let me guess. They had to carry him in a bucket.
Yeah, it was bad. We called the what is it? Tennessee has the forensic team out of UT
Yeah.
to come up there because I mean there was no way nobody in our county could handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just like drain the water. You can't just.
No,
We had to have.
scoop him out.
I think it was actually the what's the name of the team that the doctor has there in University of Tennessee?
Shoot, I can't
That
remember the
forensic
name
team,
of it.
yeah. I think it was them that actually came out.
Yeah.
So because the sheriff's department didn't, they were like, well, we got to investigate it too. So they
Yeah.
got them all involved because they didn't have the means to investigate something like that. I don't even know how you go about investigating something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Well, you've toured the body farm, haven't you, Gina?
I didn't get to go to the body farm.
Oh, you didn't get to go?
Mm-mm.
Well,
Oh, you
I
didn't
won't
get
say
to go
you're
to the butcher
missing
shop?
anything.
Uh-uh.
I wouldn't say you're missing something, but it's an experience that, as far as being a responder, is very unique.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to say it's gross because it's natural, but
Yeah.
seeing the process past what we normally see on the trucks
Yeah.
is unique. And some of the science that come from that, that's how they developed how to get fingerprints for kids, was because of that.
Yeah.
So,
I've read a lot about it.
yeah, didn't what was the doctor? He used to be a KPD officer, wasn't he? Before, and he went back to
Art
school.
Bohannon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he came around to the 911 center, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he used to bring pictures all the time. Bring his
Yeah.
pictures.
He was the one, wasn't he, that learned how to take kids' fingerprints off of glass, wasn't he?
He was the. He may have been. He developed several techniques for fingerprints. He was the one that developed the super glue thing where they heat up the super glue and it sticks to the thing I don't know how they do it exactly, but
Well, yeah, because kids don't have the same oil glands, or maybe
Yeah.
they're not developed as much as ours are.
yeah,
And I remember he taught a class. I don't know if it was Rural Metro or at Dispatch, but yeah. And he came around the side. Do you see? Okay, is he still
passed
around?
away. He passed away.
You know anybody over there can come on the show? That'd be an awesome show.
Seems like Shelly. Shit, what's her name? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it just hit me. That'd be an awesome show.
Maybe one of the trauma doctors too.
Yeah.
I think. Damn it, what's her name?
You like me. I can't remember.
I know.
It's
I
on
know
the tip of your tongue, but you can't say it.
I know 3 Shellys.
I mean, Jennifer's like, yeah.
Becky's. Yeah, I think she's the girl I know still works over there. I could see if she will.
Yeah, reach out. Heck, that would be an amazing show.
It would.
Because, I mean, we have a pretty good following with the police, but I don't think we have anybody in forensics. We've had animal patrol, we've had police officers, we've had a canine officer, but I don't think we've had anybody with forensics.
Well, I think she works at the.
Get an actual medical examiner too.
Yeah, I don't know if I know any medical examiners. Maybe. I'll see.
Yeah, I don't think I know any medical examiners, but
I think Shelley, the Shelley I know works at UT in the
that division or
that division.
I guess it's forensics division, but yeah.
Yeah.
See if you can get her to come on. That'd be cool. Or
Okay.
if she knows somebody.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because I think that stuff's fascinating.
I do too.
I mean, aside from, we've had a couple authors that have written some cool books about stuff like that. Somebody that actually knows the science. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
See what you can do. You got to hook me up with a wrestler too.
I do need to. There's one guy on. Have you ever heard? Let's see, what's his name? Roman something or other.
Brains?
Yes, he hit me up on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, but whatchamacallit?
Facebook?
No, the other one. TikTok.
X? Oh, TikTok. The
Yeah.
real Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, would you like to see if you can come on the show?
Heck yeah, put him on the other one. Or we'll, if his schedule's too busy, we'll make a special one. I think he was the one that retired for a while. He may be back now, but he had a medical
scare. He said he was coming back or something.
It seemed like he had a medical scare. I don't want to say it was cancer,
Yeah,
but
he was
like
taking some time off.
Yeah, because I remember watching it. I used to watch wrestling pretty faithfully. And it seemed like he came on and made a big announcement about, he was retiring because of some condition. I don't know if he named it.
Yeah, he told me what it was, but I can't remember what it was, what he said.
He's from East Tennessee too, isn't he?
I don't know. He's in Florida right now.
I would be too if I could.
I know.
I'd be on a beach.
I know.
I'm taking you with me, Dina. We're gonna go.
He was trying to get me to.
Me and you and a cat.
He was trying to get me to go out with him.
Hey, take one for the team. Say yes.
Say yes.
Take one for the team. Hey, and if he's a vampire, bonus points.
I know. I know. I'll see if I can talk to him.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to scoot us out of here a little early tonight. I got family in town, and we are going to go tomorrow to the largest knife show in the world. It's in Atlanta. So
that'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to go look at sharp, pointy things. So I always have fun there. Yeah. This is the first year I've went, and I don't have something I want. Usually I have like a knife that I want or something, but I don't have what I want this year. But I'm sure I'll find something when I get
I was going to
there.
say, you'll find something when you walk in.
Yeah, you probably will.
Yeah. And then I run into a bunch of firemen I know, and we start talking and BSing. And I ran into, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he was on the Popular Knife Show, and he was the one that would say, "It will kill." So he's a famous guy. And I got to talk to him a couple years ago, and he was like stood there and talked to me. I was like shocked. I was like, "Oh, wow!" It's like, so yeah. And a lot of times for this one, people from the show Survivor and Next Grade come there. So so I'm going to be handing out cards, trying to talk some people up. So
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Brenda, good Lord.
Don't you do it.
Wow.
I did that.
You need to go to sleep.
One of you turds is about to get smacked.
I knew that was coming.
I love that.
I got some new ones up here on the show tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Oh, it made me laugh too hard. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the
Play it
most
again.
so.
Play it again.
Oh, shit. I got to find that button. Hold on. The screen is so much bigger now.
Turds is about to get smacked in the mouth if you don't keep it down.
That sounded like a little bit of Uncommon Soul.
Oh my God, I'm gonna close the phone lines. Yeah, so tomorrow on the Misfits, tune in. I'm not quite sure what these shenanigans are, but I think they're all against me. So
I think they probably are.
Yeah, I think it's Pick on Glenn Day, so be sure to tune in for that. At least I'm in a better mood now. So
yeah,
earlier not so much. So
sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. I learned
Okay.
I learned some things and got some things straightened out. So
good.
Yeah, we just won't have a guest on. So tune in Saturday for the Misfits tomorrow, 9:00. Me, Dina, Andy, you're free to jump in if you'd like.
All right.
Cheyenne, if her electricity is back, Luke, I think, will be there for the first hour. I don't know about the rest of the hillbillies. Who knows what the hell they're doing? So,
Hillbillies.
Well,
The Tennessee Hillbillies.
yeah, and I don't know. We ain't got a guest scheduled for it. We need to start scheduling guests on it regularly.
Do we?
But yeah, we've gotten a request for some. So yeah, so
Oh,
we need to
okay.
at least somewhat, maybe once or twice a month at least. So do
Yeah,
that.
Bobby, he should be there, right?
Oh well, it depends if he goes to Alabama. He might go to Alabama tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if B Dizzle goes down there, he probably won't be. Because he's gonna. Yeah, I think he is going down there actually to hand out business cards and schmooze with the
We're
Bigfoot
gonna punch
people.
him in the. We're gonna smack him in the mouth.
Oh God,
I've already had one camping trip with Bobby.
that sounded a little too good.
My tent was the one that collapsed though. So
Oh, well.
my defense was a very heavy downpour of tornadic rain. But I bailed out of Alabama as quick as I could. I was like, "Yep, here's your sign."
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we get the Misfits tomorrow. Check us out there, and then Monday we're back to doing the Lip Men on Sports. It's championship week. So there's 4 games. They determine who is going to go to the UFL Super Bowl. I don't know what it's called in the UFL. It's the big shot. And then on Wednesday night, we have a midnight themed horror radio guest, Dr. Chris. And then we have another Chris scheduled afterwards too. So he is an author. Let me look it up here.
What in the heck?
I know
Did
it was
you
good
just turn a
stuff.
light on?
He's glowing. He's got that natural glow going.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's the screen that bright. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is the author about he lives down in Southwest Florida, the Keys, and he's going to tell us about his journey to becoming a fisherman. There's a long paranormal story that involved. He's a commercial fisherman. Well, I don't know if he's commercial if he takes people out, but he's got kind of a really cool story. So I'm looking forward to him being on. So we get 2 Chris's. It's the Chris show on Wednesday night.
All right.
Somebody breaking in, Dina?
No.
You
I
know,
was thinking what my cat was doing.
she's dragging the dead body out
over there.
She's dragging the dead body out of the closet, Dina. He didn't want to tell us.
Might be a mouse. I thought I saw a mouse the other day.
It's
I was
a
like,
boa constrictor.
useless.
Boa constrictor. All right, and I want to. Oh wait a minute, hold on. I gotta figure out how to do this. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I gotta figure out how to do this. This will be our first time doing this. I want to thank the Parapost Network for allowing us to come on. So how do I want to do this? I'm gonna play our exit song and then we'll do that. How about that? How's that? Does that work for you guys? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm still learning what I'm doing. I learn every day. So we will see everybody next week. Thank you to yergsradio.com for allowing the use of your transmitter. Thank you to the Parapost Network for allowing us the use of your social media. Thank you to the Thin Line Rock Station for supporting us in everything we do. And thank you to all the loyal listeners and fans, all 25 of you. We do appreciate it. So. Kidding. There's 30. Yeah, maybe. It's a good day. It's in a winter day when there's a blizzard.
Silly.
I am silly. All right, and I've got a button to push. So when I push this last button, we will all go away.
Okay.
I think. Maybe. We're gonna see.
Does it work if we still all go away?
Aim to find out. We're about to find out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.